Transformers. The toys you wanted to buy when you were a child, but were often way too expensive unless you were one of those rich families. By the way, did you ever go over to play with other kids and you brought your Transformers over and this rich a-hole friend of yours has got like Optimus Prime and all the biggest Transformers and you're there with your little cassette tapes that can transform into like a half-assed bird and leopard? He just felt like the biggest tool in the world. Yeah, me either, but just saying. Anyway, I took my kids to see Transformers 1, and they were very excited to see it. Now, down here in Texas, a lot of the theaters are the full dine-in experience, and then in order to differentiate themselves, the ones that were dine-in experiences decided to put a brewery inside the actual theater, so you can actually see the beer being made, and then you'd go into the movie but you'd be tempted back out to the bar. And so, full disclosure, I did not actually watch the entire movie. However, I feel like I have a good handle on what happens. So we'll go ahead and do this review here. But about 15 minutes in, I went back out to the lobby, had a nice beer, relaxed, enjoyed, spent some time with a friend, and then went in at the end to kind of pick up the kids. Or, if I'm being completely honest, they came back out of the theater and, picked me up off the floor, and then I drove them home safely, of course. So anyway, but let me go right into this. This is a big animated movie, and the idea is that Transformers 1 is a prequel to all the Transformers films. Now, again, I loved Transformers as a kid. I liked the original cartoons. They were fun. Love that Transformers movie. I think you have, if you're Gen X, you have to love that Transformers movie. There's just no way about it. I mean, I bought the Rodimus Prime toy. You got the touch. You got the power. Didn't feel good about it, especially when they kind of later revealed that he was kind of a douche. But, anyway, I had it. And, so the Michael Bay movies, not as fond of those. In many cases, it always look like the Transformers are there and they're wandering around. But the actual transforming bit looked like they took a bunch of random metal pieces, put it in a big bag full of water, and just shook it around in front of the camera. And that's how it often looked. So never really enjoyed those, unless Megan Fox is on the screen. Then, I mean, come on. But otherwise, those films never really that great. So was interested in this one. I like the idea of going to animation, particularly high-end animation. Now, granted, it looks a little childish, but we'll let that go. And the idea of starting a prequel, okay, it's a chance to kind of wipe the slate clean, tell us a little bit about what's going on. Granted, they're going to retcon this into some kind of buddy comedy, but that's fine. So we went into it and but there were some problems right away. I mean, for one thing, the humor in this movie was clearly just the dumbest current modern day 2024 humor. It had all the same Hallmark jokes that a lot of other not good movies have had. I mean, it's kind of one step below Despicable Me in terms of actual humor quality. That's really what we were sticking with. But the film starts out on Cybertron, and this is Cybertron where things are kind of crappy. There is a miner civilization. For some reason, the Transformers are mining things. And one of the miner bots is named Orion Pax, and that's voiced by Chris Hemsworth. And then he's got a buddy named D16, who's voiced by Brian Henry. And this is basically Optimus Prime and Megatron, but they're more or less teenagers or whatever you'd call them in robot terms. And they stumble across this recording that details the planet's origin, when the first Transformer, who used his body to create Cybertron, built the entire kind of civilization, included the matrices of leadership, and really kind of gotten into the history. But Optimus Prime has to run for his life. He does then run into Megatron. He's able to kind of get away, evading kind of the other robots there, and so that's how we get introduced to these two robots. So Optimus Prime and Megatron, again, this is Orion Pax and D16. They're working. We get introduced to girl boss Elita 1, who's the Black Widow. And then we also get to see Bumblebee and a couple of the other kind of dopey Transformers. There's a lot of cameos from like Starscream and Jazz and ones you'd kind of recognize. But anyway, at this point, they are in the mine, kind of doing their nonsense thing. The mine kind of blows up, or there's a place where things explode, and this kind of sets them on their path of having of try to save a transformer, but then it is because they stop to help out Jazz, they're punished, anyway. At this point, I went out for a beer, and but basically the rest of the movie went this way. So kind of reeling from this unfairness of helping somebody out but getting into trouble with it, Optimus Prime and Megatron kind of reminisce over some Cybertron kind of alcohol, and they decide that the only way they're going to really gain the respect of the other Transformers is if they can lose their Transformer virginity. And so they make a plan to go to this club, that's run by Soundwave, which is kind of a robot strip club. And basically, if they can get in there, they sneak into this club, then that will help them be real adult robots, real men robots. But unfortunately, Soundwave, who initially tricks them in, takes their Energon money to get into the club, then later kind of humiliates both of them by dumping them into the Cybertron swamp, which surrounds this club. And when the two of them are like, this isn't fair, we want our money back, we spent a bunch of money on this, they go to the sheriff, who in this case is Starscream. And the sheriff is actually the Cybertron brother of Soundwave. And he basically extorts them for more of their Energon, which leaves them even more humiliated. So, frustrated by this, Megatron and Optimus Prime decide to head back to Soundwave's club for revenge. And they want to get revenge on both him and his brother Starscream. And so eventually what they do is they throw a variety of kind of shenanigans. There's this whole weird subplot where Bumblebee is peeking in on the shower of some of the female the robots. And, he gets grabbed by the crankshaft while he's doing this through a little hole he was looking through. And then it's revealed that he has a little, like a mole on his drive shaft. And so this sends, one of the I don't know which one, but one of the Autobots basically is chasing him down, trying to kind of look at his drive shaft to see if the mole is there. But anyway, while this whole subplot is going on, Megatron and Optimus Prime sneak back to Soundwave's establishment. They actually sink it into the Cybertronian swamp, where all those garbage Transformers are in the movies. The one that like the weird little squid octopus crocodile things. Anyway, so this sinks into the ground, but as trouble starts to emerge, Optimus Prime and Megatron learn their transforming powers, make it back across the Cybertron county line, and escape. And it's there that they run into Sentinel Prime, who basically protects them. So they got to cross the county line. So there's no way that you can attack them now. But they kind of work it out with Soundwave to drop all the charges. But during all this, Megatron comes to feel sorry for Soundwave and for Starscream. So this caused him to turn on Optimus Prime. And that actually is how the entire rivalry began. It was because of this. There's also kind of a weird subplot as well, where one of the Autobots actually was trying to get with Ravage, with the idea that Ravage would howl when during the middle of the Autobot coupling, and so that was just kind of weird. I don't know why they did that. Anyway, in terms of a movie, I don't know, not great. Again, humor was stupid. I don't know why they went down this whole Soundwaves strip club thing. That seemed kind of weird for a Transformers movie, but that's what I'm sure is what actually happened. So in terms of recommend, I would wait for it on streaming. It would be just fine there. Anyway, there you go, and thanks for listening.
I know this is completely unorthodox, but I think this is the only way to find that boy. Now, that penis had a mole on it. I'd recognize that penis anywhere.